Good morning. In this video I'm going to show you how to design an 8-foot wall framing section, and framing is all we're going to worry about on this particular video. So first, I start with a line tool and get my start point, and then I draw a line that is 8 foot long. That's going to be the length of my wall section. Zoom out till it all comes into view. Okay, and now what I do is a series of offsets. So I'm going to offset to make the thicknesses of the lumber, the 2x4 lumber, which is actually 1.5 inches thick. So I'm going to do an offset for this one, and I'm going to offset 1.5 inches. Okay, so this will actually make my sole plate, or my seal plate. And then I'm going to do another offset, and I want to offset this next one. I'm going to make it the very top of my wall. My wall is going to be 8 foot tall, so I'm going to go to the very bottom line of my seal plate, and I'm going to click it, and of course I have it set for 1.5 inches, but I'm just going to type in 8 foot to temporarily change that. And then I zoom out. Well, if I can get everything to work like it's supposed to here. Having some software difficulties. All right, there we go, finally. Okay. So here we go. We have another line that I offset this one 8 feet here, so that makes the top of my wall. That's the top of the double top plate. Now, as far as the top plate itself, there's two of them there. There's two top plates. That's why I would call it a double top plate. So I'm going to offset this line, but I'm going to offset it downwards instead of upwards. And I'm going to offset it, let's see, 1.5 inches. Usually it stays at 1.5 inches, but I don't know, my program's not acting very well today. Okay, so now I have my double top plate. Okay, now to finish out my double top plate, at the very top of my top plate, there's usually going to be an offset or an overhang on either side so that it can tie into other wall sections. And that offset is going to be 3.5 inches. So what I'll do on this side is I'll add 3.5 inches, and I just activate the line by clicking on it. Then I activate this grip point by clicking on it, and I'm just clicking and releasing. I drag it out to the left a little bit, and then I type my distance of 3.5 inches. And there I go. And then I just kind of finish it out here. So now that makes that side of my double top plate. Now this side here, I'm gonna kind of set it back 3.5 inches. So I'm just gonna activate it by clicking on it. I'm gonna activate this grip by clicking on it and releasing, dragging it back this way 3.5 inches, and then there we go. And then I'm gonna finish that out as well, just by kind of closing off the ends of it. With lines. Then I'm going to get to the bottom here, to my bottom plate, and I'm going to close off the ends of that one. Okay, and when I do this, like I draw a line here, just like this, and this is just kind of a tip for you. But I drew the line, then I hit the escape button to get out of it, or I could hit the enter button to get out of it. And then of course I want to start the line tool again somewhere else, and I just type the enter button and I'm back into the line tool, and then tap it again, you're out. Okay, so now I've got my double top plate and my seal plate. Next thing I want are my studs. So I'm going to start my line tool again. And now this is another 2x4 piece of lumber, so it's going to also be offset 1.5 inches. Okay, so now I have a timber right there. Now, of course, I want to put more timbers in here, and they're going to be, standard spacing, 16-inch on center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an array, and I'm going to choose the array tool. I can just type array in there. Okay, and then now that I'm in the array tool, I can just kind of come up here to the upper right of that timber. I can left click to start a selection box, select both of those, and now I can press enter and click on rectangular. That's the type of array that I want. So now that I'm in the array, I have my array started, I want to go up here into the ribbon and manipulate some of the information up here. I only want one row. Okay, right here, if you look in the row section, it says 3, and there are actually 3 rows. If I zoom out, you can see all 3 rows. However, I don't want 3 rows, I just want 1. So if I type 1 in there and enter, it's going to stay with that original row. So now I just have 1 row. Next thing I want to do is set my distance between timbers or studs. Let me call them studs. Okay, so my distance between is right here. My distance between columns is going to be 16 inches. And I'm going to pause here because I have to go on duty. My 4 timbers, or my 4 studs, it's time to start calling them studs. And what I want to do is I want to take these all the way to the very end, and I want to maintain that 16-inch center measurement, which I put right here in the between box. Now I'm going to kind of manipulate with the total number of columns, not there, sorry, right here, total number of columns, and that's to stretch them all the way to the end. So I'll start with, let's say, 8, just to see how that's going to end up. And you see there, it's a little bit too far. Okay, I've actually got 2 studs on here that aren't going to fit under the wall. So I'm going to cut this back to 6. Now I have 6 studs, and I still need one at the very end that's going to fall under that 16-inch on center requirement. Now it's okay to be under that, you just don't want to be over that. So if you're building a wall section that is specified as 16-inch on center, then you can be 16-inch on center or anything less than 16-inch on center, but nothing more than 16-inch on center. So I'm going to have to manually place a stud right here at the very end. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and accept the studs that I have now. Now I want to copy a stud and put it down here on the end, but if I click on the stud, it's going to select all of them because I made them all as an array. So I'm going to go to my Home tab, and I'm going to find the Explode tool right here. It's a little box looking thing. It looks like it's coming apart. And I have my timbers or my studs selected. And I click the Explode box, and there we go. We have separated in those studs, and now I can select each one individually. Alright, so I'm going to copy that last stud right there, and I'm just going to click on the little copy tool up here in the ribbon, zoom into it, and I'm going to choose a point, a base point, and I'm going to choose that edge right there, and there's a reason for that, and that's so that I can line it up on the very end. Oops, I did something wrong there. Okay, and select that point, and there we go. Okay, and then I can take it right to the end there, and now everything is complete. So all of those studs are, there's a stray stud, all those studs are 16-inch on center except for the very last one, which comes at about 15 something. Alright, so anyway, there is my wall. The only thing I'm missing is blocking. Blocking is another component that I want to add to this. Blocking actually helps keep the studs straight, keeps them from bending and bowing inwards, and it's also good for fire resistance or slowing down a fire. If the fire starts burning within the walls, then these blocks will help slow it down. So I'll start right here. Center point seems a good place to start, and I draw one horizontal piece there, one horizontal line, and that is going to represent the bottom of one of the blocks. Now the blocks are made of the 2x4 timbers, and so those are 1.5 inches wide. So I'm going to offset specified distance. It already says 1.5 inches. So there we go. There is my 1.5 inches block. And what I'm going to do with this one, instead of doing an array, now I could get an array going through most of it, but in this case it's really, you know, simple enough to, well, we'll do it as an array. Let's see. So I want to select that, click on the array, and actually, as you can see there, it's not lining up exactly. So that's I think that was the reason why I didn't do the array originally, because it's a little bit more difficult to line those up going through horizontally like that. So I'm going to copy them. Select it, click on the copy tool, or type the word copy into the computer, and now I'm just going to kind of manually kind of line them up, and we'll see what's going to happen here. I think I'm going to try to snap right there, but I'll do this, activate that point, and there we go. So I'm just going to go in through here, staggering, and what I'm doing is I go down here to this midpoint and I activate that point, because see, if I just click right in here somewhere, it's just gonna automatically snap to that point right there, but I don't want it to. So I'm going to hover over it and kind of activate the reference line, the reference geometry. And remember, this one is the one that came in just a little bit under 16-inch center, so it's a little bit long. So I'm going to trim it out. Trim, select all. Okay, so now I have a wall section that is completely blocked and everything else. So that's how you do a wall section. Alright, so again, we have our sill plate down here at the bottom. We have our double top plate. Our total height of the wall is 8 feet. And we basically achieved that by taking the very bottom line of the sill plate and offsetting it 8 feet to the very top. And then of course we built downwards to get the thickness of our double top plate, which is 1.5 inches for each timber. Then of course we created one stud down here at the end, and we set that up on an array, and we made them 16-inch on center, stretched them all the way across, manually placed this last stud, and then went in and blocked everything. Okay, so there we go.